Alright, another raid guide. Continuing on with Burning Crusade, we're going to one of the most important raids in Burning Crusade, the Eye. Fastest way to get there is not very fast at all, actually. We're going to have to go down to the Shatrath portal, as is the case with many of these Burning Crusade raids, downstairs in the portal room in Orgrimmar, and it is in the portal room in Stormwind if you're Alliance. So we're going to go ahead and not go through the Shatrath portal, but as is the case with the Magtheridon's Lair raid, we're actually going to take this Thrallmar Mage, and we're going to say that we must report to the Dark Portal, and he is going to take us a little bit closer to the actual raid. So if you go through the Shatrath portal, it's going to take you to Shatrath City right down here. We need to get up to Netherstorm over here at Tempest Keep, and so this takes us a little bit closer, and we can actually just fly over the gap here. So, you know, I like to put like a little marker at it just to get the thing on my mini map, just so I know I'm going in the correct direction, and then you can kind of just auto fly. So it takes a while to get there. Unfortunately, this is not really a faster way to get over to Tempest Keep. And also, unfortunately, this is probably going to be one that you're going to want to farm a lot. Simply because this raid drops the very sought after mount, Ashes of Alar. Looks like that. It's a really great mount. I still don't have it. But yeah, this is a pretty sought after mount, and people farm this raid pretty religiously. So unfortunately, you're going to have to make this trek every week if you feel so inclined. So I will meet you over there when we get a little bit closer. Alright, so here we are approaching Tempest Keep. We're going to go ahead and get rid of my little marker there. Pretty intimidating structure here. There are 3 dungeons located here as well. We have the Botanica, we have the Arcatraz, and we have the Mechanar. Those are located on these other tiny little ships. So we have the Botania over here, the Arcatraz up there, and the Mechanar over here. We're going to go onto this main ship here. Just continue along through this little passageway, and here we are at Tempest Keep. Going on in, and this is where you are going to find the Eye. Tempest Keep, the Eye, it's kind of the same thing. They call it both in different places. But, you know, all you really need to know is that this is where you get Ashes of Alar. That's what's important. So, before we continue through here, we're going to take a look at the map. Pretty simple map. All of these bosses are optional except for the first one. So if you want to kill Kael'thas, you have to kill Alar, but you can skip these 2 on the sides. So keep that in mind. We're going to take a look at our list here. Look at the quests. Verdant Sphere. Kael'thas just drops this. You turn it into somebody. Pretty simple. The Ruse of the Ash Tongue is part of a pretty long quest line that leads you here. So, you know, if you're doing the Adal quest line, eventually it will lead you here. And the Vials of Eternity I mentioned in the Serpent Shrine Cavern video, because you actually need to get, it says Vash's Vial Remnant and Kael'thas's Vial Remnant. So one comes from the final boss of Serpent Shrine Cavern, and one comes from the final boss of the Eye. And you pick this quest up in the Caverns of Time. The person who gives it to you is just kind of walking around down there. So that covers the quests. Onto the zone drops, we do have a BOP item here. So again, you can't buy this off the auction house. You do have to get it yourself. So, you know, you can kill the trash until you do get it. There is no reputation associated with this place. So you don't have to kill the trash for any other reason except the zone drops. Nether Vortex, another crafting reagent that drops. Again, this is for, you know, leatherworking recipes. That's why it shows it for me, because I can get these appearances from leatherworking. I don't have a leatherworker at the moment, so I am missing those. But that covers all the little extraneous stuff. Now to get to the main parts of this, we're going to run through here, continue through this hallway, and we're going to get to the first boss here, Alar. Now, Alar is actually, you know, the same model as the mount that we're trying to get here. So, that's decently interesting. You'll see him flying around up here, so you kind of have to chase him down. I'm a druid, so I can moonfire him. We're going to do that a couple times. He kind of stays up there for a while. We're just going to kill him with moonfires, and we're going to wait down here. Now, he will disappear, and you'll be like, well, what happened to him? You know, like, what am I supposed to do now? He will respawn here in a second. Basically, how this boss worked back in the days, you had to kill him twice because he's a Phoenix. You know, Phoenix gets reborn. So you just wait for him to respawn back down here, and he knocks you away, and then you run back down to him and kill him. So, there it is. That's Alar. I pulled a bunch of trash here. So we're going to go ahead and loot him. He drops a pet, the Brilliant Phoenix Hawk Feather, which gives you the Phoenix Hawk Hatchling. Let me get out of combat so I can actually look at it. There you go. That's the pet he drops. And he doesn't really drop anything else too special. Now, there are set tokens in here. Now, these give you the other pieces that you might be missing for the Serpent Shrine Cavern set. So some of the pieces for this set that say Serpent Shrine Cavern come out of Serpent Shrine Cavern, obviously, and the other ones come out of here. So keep that in mind. This isn't just Serpent Shrine Cavern. You might be missing some. You're like, well, I've got everything in Serpent Shrine Cavern. Why am I still missing some of these pieces? It's because they come out of here. And as you will see, the Void Reaver, which is this one on the left here. We're going to go to the left, by the way. There are two doors that open when you kill Alar. You can go to the right or the left. It doesn't really matter. We're going to go ahead and go to the left and kill the Void Reaver over here. Now, he can drop the shoulders, and he drops a token for the shoulders. And if you don't know how the tokens work, I will explain that at the end of this video, how to redeem them, where you need to go to do that, and so on. It's the same for all of these Burning Crusade raids, pretty much. So it's just going to be one little section covering all of them. So if you don't know how to use the tokens or what they do or where to go with them, make sure you check that section out at the end of the video. So we're going to kill the Reaver here. He's going to pull all the trash. This is a pretty easy way to get the zone drops. You kill the boss first, and then he pulls all the trash to you. That was probably really loud. It was really loud for me. I don't know if that was really loud on the recording. I guess we'll see. But he also drops a pet. Lots of pets in here. Nice Void Reaver pet. And like I said, he drops the shoulder token. So, continuing on, we're going to go over to... We're going to skip past Kael'thas. Obviously, you can go up this ramp and get to him. But we're going to go through the other door first, just to make sure we kill him last for the purpose of this guide. Going over to High Astromancer Solarian. He also drops a pet, Crystal of the Void. Nice little Void guy here for you. Lesser Void Caller. And he does not drop a token. That's pretty much the extent of what he drops. Just a nice little pet. But same sort of thing with this boss. He's just in this little corner over here. You walk up to him and you kill him. And I'm pretty sure he pulls all the trash in his room. So you can kill that as well. Again, these two bosses on the sides are completely optional. You do have to kill Alar to be able to kill Kael'thas, but you do not have to kill either of these bosses. We're going to go ahead and kill him. And here comes all the trash. Just going to wait in the middle for them all to come over to me. So, you know, don't waste your time running around the room and pulling all the trash and trying to kill it if you're... Okay, so they're running away now because they're all friendly. Because I'm mind controlled. So one of them mind controlled me, and so they all just ran away. So I guess that can happen. I didn't know that could happen, but I do now. So we're just going to continue along. I don't need to kill the trash, but we're going to continue along to Kael'thas. This is the main event here. Hopefully I can get a Alar for the video. That would be awesome. But probably won't happen. It's a pretty low drop chance on Ashes of Alar. I will definitely get it here, though. 100%. So you walk in this room, and this boss is really annoying. There's lots of RP, lots of stages that you have to sit through. So just walk up to him and hit him to start it. It's not as simple as just hitting him and looting him. I wish that were the case. He's going to go on a big old monologue here, and you know, you can just kind of ignore him. You can kill the trash throughout the room if you need the zone drops while you're listening to him, because he does take a while, and that's something I used to do. So the first stage of this is going to be him activating his little minions here. And they always go in the same order. This guy on the left first, you want to stand next to him and hit him as soon as he becomes active. Because a lot of these guys can silence you or stun you, and it's really annoying. And so then you're going to go to the right, kill Lord Sanguinar next. So again, just once you learn the order of them, it becomes a lot easier to just, you know, sit right next to him. The next one is this girl over here. So you kill her, and then obviously this guy is the final one. So yeah, knowing the order that these guys get activated in is helpful because they do fear you a lot, stun you a lot, and if you're far away from them, then you'll kind of just get stun locked for a little bit. So he's going to summon a bunch of weapons. You kill all these weapons. Now, these weapons do drop. You'll see they dropped. And, you know, the first time I was in here, I looked at this and I was like, oh my god, I just got 17 legendaries. This is amazing. But these all are temporary weapons. It's like they were special weapons for this encounter that, you know, you could use during the fight, and that was it. You can't get them as T-Mog or anything. Some of them you get from different sources, but you can't get these specific items as T-Mog. So keep that in mind. Don't get too excited when you see your massive legendary loot window here. So now we just kind of sit around and wait. It might look like he's not doing anything, but he's thinking. He's trying to figure out what to do here. So I kind of just gotta wait. There's a lot of waiting with this boss, and it's, you know, really not great because the suspense is building for Ashes of Valar. You just want to know if you get it or not. So if we look at his drops here, obviously there's an achievement. There's an achievement for getting Ashes of Valar. There's the mount. The Verdant Sphere is the quest item that he drops, or that you just turn in. He drops just some normal T-Mog, and then he also drops the chest piece for the Serpent Shrine Cavern set. So you can drop the token for that. And again, I will show you how to get those tokens turned in and how to redeem them at the end of this video, as soon as we are done killing him. So, kind of just waiting around. It takes a long time, honestly. This place sucks because of that. But eventually he'll start monologuing again, and there we go. I don't know why he really had to think that monologue out, you know. He was really thinking about it. He was preparing his words very carefully. So he's going to resummon his guys here, and now he's going to activate all 4 of them at the same time. Now this is really annoying. This is what I'm talking about with them stunning you and fearing you and stuff. Because all 4 of them are active, it's kind of inevitable that you're going to get massively stunned here. So just make sure you're spamming your attacks as soon as you get out of it. Oh, got disoriented again. Nice. So yeah, this is another really annoying part. One of these debuffs that we have is actually doing a good chunk of this. As you'll see, I'll read it here. It's this one here. Remote Toy periodically stuns for 4 seconds. And it has a long amount of time on it, you know, 30 seconds left. It's probably like a minute long total. So this will just randomly stun you like it did right there. And so that's pretty annoying. You kind of just gotta wait for that to go off. But either way, you gotta wait for some more RP. He's gonna, you know, become massive and like fly in the air and stuff after you killed his guys. And then he's gonna destroy those crystals and come on down here, and then we're finally gonna be able to kill him. He does take a while, though, so, you know, your debuff will run out by the time he does come down. Apparently, I am disoriented. This is great. This place is very fun. As you can see, there's not a lot of stuns at all. So, he's floating down. Here he is, and we're going to kill him and see if we get them out. And I didn't get them out. So, that's pretty much how it's going to go. You're not going to get them out. Drop chance on that thing is very low. So... yeah, we're going to show you how to get these tokens turned in this next section. I'm going to go back to Orgrimmar. We actually have to go to a vendor somewhere, and so I'm going to show you how to get to that vendor from Orgrimmar. So I will meet you over there and explain these tokens a little bit more. Here we are once again in the Orgrimmar portal room, and now we're going to go downstairs and find the portal to Shattrath. Now, if you're Alliance, you're just going to find the portal to Shattrath in the Stormwind portal room, but for Horde, it is specifically downstairs and right here. So we're going to go ahead and take this portal to Shattrath, and we're going to be looking around for a singular portal in a little alcove. We have a portal back to Orgrimmar or Stormwind right there, and we're going to want to look for a singular portal in an alcove over here, a portal to the Isle of Keldanos. Where is the Isle of Keldanos, and why are we here? So the Isle of Keldanos is actually located at the very top of the Eastern Kingdoms. So that is where we are, just on this tiny little island at the very top. And we are here because we actually need a vendor that is located inside of this building across the way over here. So we're going to go ahead and go over there, and we're going to go up this ramp on the right and go all the way upstairs. Now, we're going to be talking about how to redeem your tokens and what exactly you can get with them. And this is the place that we're going to need to do that. So as I mentioned previously, our set that we're going to be looking at for the eye is going to be the set down here that says Serpentine Cavern, and then the one directly above it. So don't get confused by the fact that it just says Serpentine Cavern. Know that your tokens from the eye are going to give you appearances for this set. Serpentine Cavern and the eye are kind of linked in that way. And so if you want some more detail on how these tokens work and where to turn them in for this set in specific, make sure you look at my Serpentine Cavern video. Towards the end of that one, I go into a little bit more depth than I'm going to go into on this one, just for the sake of time. So make sure to check that out if you have some more questions about the tokens and how they work. Basically, what these tokens boil down to are two different sets of TMOG. There are two options of things you can do with them, giving you those sets respectively. We have the PvE version right here, and we have the PvP version right here. So we are in this building in the Isle of Keldanos specifically for the PvP version. Now, the first thing that you're able to do with your tokens is keep them in your bag and take them to a vendor located where we are right now. There are vendors all around this building. There's 4 of them. There's 1, 2, 3, and 4, and these are going to give you the PvP pieces for the different sets of the Burning Crusade raids. So what you're going to do is we're going to go to this vendor here. He happens to sell us the PvP pieces for this set that we're looking at. This is Serpentine Cavern and the Eye. And so if we look at the cost for these pieces that he sells us, it actually is just simply the token that we get off of the bosses from either Serpentine Cavern, as it says there, or the Eye, as it says here. So you get your shoulder drop from the Void Reaver and the Eye, you get your token, you take it here, and you exchange it for this PvP version of the shoulders. As you see, these are like the kind of purple glowy ones, and that is what our PvP set looks like right there. Now, these vendors are going to sell 3 different versions of this set. The only difference between these is the name. As you see, we have the Dragonhide Spalders, we have the Kodohide Spalders, and we have the Wormhide Spalders. They all look the same. Pick whichever one you want. Turn your token in to get that piece of gear. So a common theme for these Burning Crusade sets is you're going to have a couple of extraneous pieces that don't come from tokens. The PvE versions are simple enough. As you see, we only have 2 extra. This is going to be our belt and our boots. These come from just random boss drops in the same raids that the tokens come from. So if we look for this belt, the Girdle of Zeatar, we're actually going to find this in the Eye off of the Void Reaver. There it is, the Girdle of Zeatar. So the Void Reaver is just going to drop us our set piece belt. No tokens involved. That's how you get the extraneous pieces for the PvE set. The PvP set is a little bit different because, you know, we get all our pieces for the PvP set by turning our tokens into this vendor. Well, there's no tokens for these couple pieces. It looks like we have bracers, belt, and boots. So how do we get these? Generally, a rule of thumb for the PvP sets is any extra pieces that you don't have a token for, you're just going to purchase off of a vendor. Now, these can be different vendors, and I specify in each guide where the vendor is for these extra pieces. So for this set, the Serpentine Cavern set, it's actually pretty simple. Just to the left of our token vendor here, Olus, we're going to be talking to Kairi, and she is going to sell us our extra pieces. As you see, we have belts, boots, and bracers. She sells 3 different versions of these, and then she sells a couple other things just for gold. So you just buy these off of her, and that should complete your set. For the PvE set, what you're going to want to do is just use your tokens. So if we look at Olus real quick, we can look at these tokens, and we can see it says create a class set item appropriate for your loot specialization. Every class has 3 loot specializations. We're going to set our loot specialization to whichever version we want. It doesn't really matter. They all look the same. They're just named different things. But in case you want to know how to do that, setting your loot specialization is as simple as right-clicking on your character portrait, going to loot specialization, and picking the loot specialization. That's as simple as it is for the PvE pieces. You just go ahead, take your tokens that are in your bag. You don't have to be at this location to do it. You can do it anywhere in the world you want. Just right click and use it, and it will give you the named version associated with the loot specialization you are set to. So that is how you get the main pieces for the PvE set, and like I mentioned, The extra pieces that you don't have tokens for are just going to come off of different bosses in these raids. So as you're collecting things, you should get the PvE set pretty well completed pretty easily. The PvP set is kind of the one that takes a little bit of digging to figure out where you're supposed to go to get these pieces. So I hope that this section of the guide was helpful. I know this is definitely something that confused me, and I couldn't find the PvP sets for quite a while when I started playing, and hopefully this helped you get your sets complete. Good luck in collecting things, and I will see you in the next one.